Hello, kiddies. It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to Three Guys in a Flick. The good, the bad, and the gruesomely absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Nope.
Three guys and a flick with Don, Ken, and John. Dive into the movies well after the dawn. From the good to the bad to the wildly absurd. They give a fuck about films. Their voices are heard.
Welcome back. You are listening to Three Guys in a Flick. This is where we review the good, the bad, and the absurd. Tonight's episode, Nope. Beware spoilers. Coming to you from the Haywood Ranch, my name is Don. Hey guys, am I tripping? Or does that cloud look weird?
Yeah, I don't think it's moved.
What the fuck? Anyways, and joining me tonight, as always, to my right, we have the comic book guy, John.
Heidi ho.
And to my left, we have the professor, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
I'm good.
Yeah?
How you doing tonight?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
I just found out I get to have double orthoscopic surgery on my knees.
Well, that's what you get for being on your knees so much, bud. Tonight, we are talking about Nope. Nope comes to us from the Bronco Helmet and was submitted to us by one of our listeners, Nate M. So, hey, Nate, thank you for the suggestion, and we hope you enjoy the review. Released on July 22nd, 2022, Nope was written and directed by Jordan Peele, and it stars Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Stephen Nguyen, Michael Wincott, Brandon Pereira, Keith David, and a bunch of other ranch hands.
How'd this movie do, Don?
This movie was made for $68 million and brought in $172 million.
It was the highest grossing horror movie for 2022.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other fun facts about 2022 there, Professor?
I am curious to know, do you think you could name another top grossing horror movie for 2022? There is a movie that came in at number 16. So Nope came in at number 14. This one comes in at number 16. And there are 1, 2, 3 others in the top 30.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Halloween is in there.
Number 30.
Okay. Oh, wow, I fucked that one. I went low. What do you got?
2022.
I don't know. When did Mother come out?
2019.
Okay.
Is Mother on the list? Am I wrong?
It is not in 2022's list of the top 30 grossing horror movies.
A simple no would be fine.
Nope.
Nope. That's even better.
But I don't know that because I didn't look.
My turn. One of the Screams.
Number 25.
Barbarian?
No.
I got nothing.
You guys are horror movie guys.
I know.
I'm horrible when it comes to the years, though.
Evil Dead?
Nope.
Are they franchises?
Nope.
Okay, so now we're fucked. So, Midsommar?
Nope.
Oh, he likes this game. Can I have a hint, please? You have to say nope. Oh, Smile?
Smile. Number 16.
I was gonna say, I was just
He's
thinking
looking at me. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
Yeah, me either.
But it is streaming now.
Oh, listeners, Smile. Let's make the professor watch it. I lost count.
So there's one more. And this one came in at number 23, The Black Phone.
Hey, that's actually a really good film.
I've never seen it.
I have heard people recommend it.
Yeah, I'm a big Ethan Hawke fan, and he's great as the villain. So, listeners, please and thank you, The Black Phone as well. And I'm sorry, out of all of that, where did Nope land? It was the highest grossing one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Came in at number 14.
Yeah.
123 million that year.
Did you guys see this in the theater?
Nope.
This was my first time.
Had you seen this at all, Professor?
Nope.
All right, so 2 newbies. I did see this in the theater, and I am a big fan of Jordan Peele, both as a actor and writer-director. So I went into this film liking Get Out, and Us. And yeah, I was not disappointed. I was very pleasantly surprised with this.
I had kind of an opposite reaction. I loved his previous movies as well. Went to this expecting kind of a similar thing, and I wasn't blown away by this movie. I loved the theme. I loved the subtext of it. I loved the shots and all that, but it just seemed the pacing of it was so slow. I kept thinking, move on. Let's go. Let's do something. Come on.
Oh, interesting.
So I kind of found myself falling asleep to this movie.
All right, we'll get into it. What about you, sir?
I was left crestfallen after Us, and because of that, I had little motivation to see this. I'm thinking maybe Jordan Peele is going to be another M. Night Shyamalan type of guy. You start strong, and then you start to fade right afterwards.
Interesting.
And so because of that, I was, I don't know if I need to see it. And so, once it was out of the theaters, it's like, yeah, all right.
Oh, all right. Excellent.
Something that I loved is that after this movie came out, a fan on Twitter proclaimed Jordan Peele the greatest horror director of all time. Do you know how Peele responded to that?
Yeah, he said, thank you, which I also watched a couple of interviews with him. And when he gets compared to things like this, he always starts with thank you, which I think is super gracious. Anyways, he said, thank you, but I will not.
He said, I will not tolerate any John Carpenter slander.
There it is. Yeah. So he knows.
Mm-hmm.
He knows.
I just love when it comes to Peele, his movies have a different vibe to them. They have an almost natural reaction of how people would actually react in those situations. In the example of this one, something strange happens, something scary happens, and people's reaction is nope, and they're going to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Well, it is the name of the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, when this film was first announced during the Super Bowl many years ago, people came up with Not of Planet Earth.
Yeah, they thought it was just going to be an alien flick.
Yeah, which it is an alien flick. Let's not make any mistake about it.
As far as we know, they never really say whether that thing is from Earth or from somewhere else. It's just an unidentified flying object.
So I did not count myself, but I did Google how many times do you think the word nope is said during the movie?
Fuck you, Professor. I actually started to do it. I have all these check marks, but I got into the film, so I just let it go. How many?
If I recall correctly, 8 times.
So you both have seen Get Out?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was wonderfully
It
intense.
was a great twist.
And have you seen Us?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was a little far-fetched.
He's a great director, and I think he is absolutely hilarious as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever watch Key and Peele?
Oh, I watched every episode.
I've seen 2 or 3.
Sure.
Love it.
Did you ever see Keanu?
No.
No, that's the cat movie.
Oh my gosh. Listeners, please and thank you with the cherry on top. Keanu.
I know exactly why you liked this movie.
It's not influenced as much from Jaws as you would think.
When he named off his influences, he named off like King Kong and a few others. He didn't name off Jaws, but if you watch, the flags are similar to the barrels that were in the shark's mouth. Antlers is clearly a Quint type character. And Jean Jacket's demise, how did he die?
He blows up.
How did Bruce the shark die in Jaws?
He blew up.
So to me, it was Jaws in the air.
Let's talk about this cast a little bit. What'd you guys think of Daniel Kaluuya as OJ?
I thought he did a good job.
He was good.
Yeah, I really like that guy.
He shows a great deal of restraint, and I loved him being so committed to the horses. When M, she doesn't want to go back, but he's like, I got mouths to feed. And his resolve to lure Jean Jacket away from M at the end, right? And so he just has this very stoic confidence in himself that he's going to do whatever he needs to do.
I agree.
Early on, I didn't like him because I thought you mentioned the word stoic. I thought he was way too passive and reserved for this character. He really didn't show a lot of emotions. But then I thought later on, he's an animal trainer. He works with these wild animals to get them to be prepared. So he has to be calm. He has to be stoic. He has to be very reserved as that type of person. So I thought, oh, well, he fits that character perfectly then.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I bought it. Keke Palmer, what do you guys think of her?
She's crazy.
I didn't know her from anywhere before. She was really good.
Yeah, she does a lot of voice work. I think she was in one of the Disney Channel cartoons that my kids used to watch a long time ago.
Yeah, I thought her energy really added to the role.
I agree. Her and Daniel made a good brother-sister pair.
Yeah.
And just their chemistry as siblings, I bought. And, ultimately, she probably goes through the biggest character arc in this film. And I think she pulls it off very well.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Yeun.
I am usually a big fan of his. I loved him in Walking Dead, and he's the voice in Invincible. So I've always been kind of a fan of him. I didn't think really, it didn't feel like he brought a whole lot to this movie.
What about you?
I don't know him from anywhere. And so I thought that he was I don't want to say a cardboard cutout, but I thought that he was just a generic actor that could have been played by anybody.
Oh, interesting.
Your thoughts?
I thought he was good. I still haven't watched The Walking Dead, but I know who he is and I know how he ends up. Thanks, Internet. But I thought he did fine.
Mm-hmm.
His character is kind of complex too, given what he's gone through. So I thought he was kind of really shady and slimy at the end.
Yeah.
Comeuppance kind of a thing. Anyone else in this cast stand out to you?
Oh, yeah. Keith David, even though he's only barely in it, I love everything that Keith David does. I mean, this guy, all the way from, I think the first time I saw him was They Live.
Yeah.
Just his voice alone. And he's in a new project called Has Been Hotel. You ever seen this animated series? I believe it's on Netflix, where he even sings in it. Just perfect. I mean, it's like the perfect animated character for him. A wisecracking bartender who hates everybody. What's your thoughts on Keith David?
I enjoy Keith David in anything he's in.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a really good actor.
I was trying to remember where I have him locked in my head, because there is a particular role that I go, oh, he's that guy. And I couldn't find the piece, but I certainly recognize him. He's instantly recognizable, and he's certainly been in a lot of different things. But I thought he was good because I liked having him being he was sage, he was wise, and with that, even though he's in it for 2 seconds, yeah, he was fine.
What'd you guys think of the score?
I didn't think of the score.
I thought it was okay. I liked the cuts that, like, when they would play the music on the record player or whatever it was. I liked some of the cuts that they had.
The actual needle drops?
The needle drops.
Because she was dropping a needle.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, and then the music is very subtle
Mm-hmm.
in this, and I thought they did a good job. It built the tension, and I thought it fit very well.
For a while, I know it's supposed to be a horror thriller kind of suspense movie, but I felt kind of like in some places the music gave it kind of a Western feel.
A little bit. After watching it, I don't know if I would go so much to call it a horror film.
That's what a lot of people I read on the internet. A lot of people felt that it didn't have a lot of jump scares. So can you really call it a horror movie?
You could. I don't think the criteria for a good horror movie is a lot of jump scares.
Well, even to be scared. I mean, I don't think there was tense scenes and there was suspense and a little bit of thrillers, but I don't think there was any like scary scenes.
No, there's really only one I can think of, one that I was like, oh shit. But other than that, I feel like it was more of a science fiction film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as they're from space. Maybe science fiction horror a little bit.
Okay, but it does come off as a Western because we are definitely out in the boonies and they are on their own trying to cope and deal with whatever the hell it is going on above their place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have a guy trying to steal horses.
Yeah.
So that's what every Western needs.
This movie is directed by Jordan Peele, and Jordan Peele, he got nominated for Black Klansman for Best Motion Picture of the Year in 2019. And he also got nominated in 2018 for Best Motion Picture of the Year for Get Out. And he also got nominated for directing for Get Out. And then he did win original screenplay for Get Out. So Jordan Peele definitely has had a very successful, although short-lived, directing career where it could have easily been nominated for something, but for whatever reason, it just didn't get anything.
Sure. Yeah. I forgot that Get Out was nominated for all those awards. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I haven't seen it in a minute.
Yeah,
So.
same.
One thing that I didn't really catch, I think, during my viewing of this movie, but after doing a little research, it really hit me. Did you get the social commentary and theme of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
What they were going for?
Uh-huh.
Which is humans tend to, like when they look at animals and look at creatures they don't understand, to humanize them and think that the creatures, depending on how we work with them, they're going to react back to us like a human would. And I thought that was kind of an interesting that, like in the beginning with the chimpanzee, they put it on a TV show and they think this chimpanzee is going to act like however he's been trained, but a loud noise, of course, makes him attack. And so I thought it was interesting to kind of think about that as this creature, this big saucer-like creature. And Ricky thinks that, he can tame it, that he can domesticate it because he's, built a partnership with the gorilla or the chimpanzee early on. So he thinks he can tame it. And he learns you can't tame it. The other thing I found interesting was the idea of having a creature that, at first I thought it was kind of weird that eye contact made it aggressive and made it attack. And if you didn't look at it, it wouldn't attack. So I thought, are there other creatures in nature that are like this? Because I have read a few. Gorillas, for example. This is, I guess, a very common thing in the animal kingdom. Like gorillas tend to take eye contact if they are like the top gorilla, the alpha. If they take eye contact as you are challenging them. There's other animals like tigers. They think that if you are looking at them, you are challenging them to a fight. A lot of birds feel like it's disrespecting them, as well as if they have eggs or whatever, that you are threatening them if you make eye contact. There's all kinds of reasons why this creature would have felt that having eye contact with it was basically a sign of aggression. So Jordan Peele worked that in really great. I mean, it's basically the animal kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also a metaphor for Hollywood, how Hollywood eat you up and then spit you out. Jordan Peele does say a lot with his films. He is one of those filmmakers that uses his platform to say something, and I applaud him for it. So,
is it about that time, Don?
Why, yes, boys, it is about that time. Welcome to another edition of Master Movie Trivia. I am your reigning champ. You may call me the champ. I have compiled 5 questions and 5 questions only to test your knowledge of the movie we are reviewing. Each question could be worth multiple points, so if you know the answer, say it. And please wait until I finish each question. Question number 1. What is the name of the 90s TV sitcom that the chimp murdered people on?
Gordy.
Judges? I'm going to need a little bit more.
Gordy's House?
Close, judges. All right, I'm going to give it to you. Gordy's Home. Gordy's Home. 1 point for the professor. Question number 2. What covers camera B when the alien appears?
A praying mantis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, John coming in. 1-1.
It was camera A, actually. Camera B was out.
Question number 3. Who was the only survivor at Jupe's claim after the alien attacks?
The horse.
Lucky.
Tied. Question number 4. What name does OJ give the alien?
Jean Jacket.
Tie again. Bonus question. Who was Jean Jacket?
It was a former horse.
Oh, it was the horse that was Emerald's first horse that she was supposed to train on, but she never did.
Why?
Because
she wanted his brother OJ got to do it instead.
Yeah, well, her brother did instead. She just didn't want to do it. She was scared of the horse or something.
Yeah, no. I'm going to give you guys a tie on that one. It was because Dad sold or he rented out Jean Jacket to the Scorpion King. So the Scorpion King, so she never got a chance to train him. And as it turns out, they used camels. And question number 5. Michael Wincott, Antlers, was in the first podcast released by the three guys. Name it.
Crow.
Crow?
Correct.
I don't
I think
know if that's true.
Yeah, he was. He was the bad guy.
Okay, but it's not the first podcast that we released.
Yes, it was.
It's the first one we released, not the first one we recorded.
All right, I'm going to call this week a tie.
You suck.
Nope. Congratulations, neither of you are any closer to movie immortality. In Agua Dulce, California, the Haywood family trains and handles horses for film productions. One day at the Haywood Ranch, small metallic objects begin rapidly falling from the sky. One of these objects, a nickel, strikes Otis Haywood Sr. in the eye and kills him. 6 months later, his children, Otis Jr. and Emerald, OJ and M respectively, are fired from a set after their horse Lucky reacts violently to its own reflection in a chrome ball used for visual effects. To raise money, OJ has been selling some of the Haywood horses to Ricky Jupe Park, who operates a Western themed park called Jupiter's Claim. Jupe exploits his past traumatic experience as a child actor on the set of Gordy's Home, a family sitcom that featured a chimpanzee named Gordy. During filming of an episode in 1998, Gordy reacted violently to the sound of popping balloons and killed some of his human co-stars, but left Jupe unharmed before being fatally shot by police. All right, so this movie opens up, and immediately during the Universal logo, we get the sounds of the TV show. And then
You get that title card of Nam 3-6.
yeah, and I thought that was an interesting quote.
That was a really obscure quote.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense.
I guess it's from an obscure part of the Bible or something.
It is.
Yeah, and I mean, basically what it's
The
saying,
Old Testament.
basically what it's saying is, I'm going to treat you like shit, and then I'm going to put you on display. So, yeah, which is kind of what human nature is sometimes, and that's what he's kind of calling out there.
Well, it's what we do with those animals is that we capture them and think that we could train them and put them on display to entertain us.
Yeah,
We just open up to Gordy sitting there, and he's poking the body,
oh right,
and the lampshade's kind of lazily rolling around.
Yep.
And clearly something looks totally fucked up.
Yeah, and for me, this was a really confusing opening. I kept thinking for at least the first 20 minutes of the movie, how does this connect? What is the point of that?
Totally. I was totally saying, what the fuck?
yeah, me too. When I first saw it,
I'm thinking, I'm here to watch like a horror movie, an aliens attack movie or something. What does a killer chimp have to do with that?
I don't know, but killer chimps are pretty fucking frightening, if you ask me.
Lawnmower man, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then after we get this shot, we cut to the ranch and we meet Otis Sr. and Otis Jr. And we find out that they are horse trainers and they rent out horses for Hollywood productions.
They're outside and they're working with a horse, and the power go out, and all of a sudden we hear things colliding with the earth.
We also find out that there's a little bit of a monetary struggle in that he says, this is the payday we need. This is the big one that we need.
Right. And then as OJ is walking up to the house, all of this shit starts falling, and he turns around and his pop is kind of just slumped over.
Yeah, slumped over in the saddle.
Yeah, and we right away, what must have happened, which is one of these things falling must have hit him.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew that when I first saw it.
I assumed one of them had come down and either had knocked him out or gone right into his head and instantly killed him.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to be alive at all.
Oh, yeah, because something does fall down and hit him, and then we cut to them in the truck, and OJ's taking him to the hospital.
One of my thoughts was when they got him in the truck and they showed it was the eye, something had hit him in the eye, I thought, that's weird how it got to his eye. But then I thought, first reaction when all that shit's falling is to look up. And so he must have been staring straight up when it fell and hit him in the eye.
Oh, interesting.
That's how I took it.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't know why everything's falling. They make the claim later that it was probably a commuter plane that just dropped a bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's they just dropped all these nickels and keys and everything. Yeah, sure, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And during that time when everything is falling, we do get a reoccurring thing that continues to happen throughout. These screams that we hear somewhere off in the distance.
Do you know where they actually revealed it in the movie, and I didn't catch it right away, where all of those keys and nickels and everything, like, the fact that Jean Jacket obviously ate some people, who did he eat?
The hitchhikers that they mentioned in the
newscast.
It was like some
Yeah.
hikers or hitchhikers that had disappeared.
or hikers. Did I say hitchhikers?
Yeah, I
meant
think it was some hikers. They had been reported on the news as disappearing. Well, if you put one and one together, then you get the fact that it must have been them.
Yeah.
That's what I started thinking once we looked at all of the debris. It's like,
Yeah.
this is from the people that they were just talking about on the news, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I started thinking that pretty quick.
I did too. And I thought it was kind of funny that after all of this shit falls, he looks at his dad's horse Ghost. He has a fucking key sticking out of him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fucking crazy. And so it's 6 months later,
Mm-hmm.
and we see that OJ and the horse Lucky are on a film set. Looks like a commercial. And
We are briefly told that Dad died 6 months ago.
right.
We also get the indication really early on exactly what OJ's personality is, which is he's very shy, he's very reserved, he just wants to work with the animal, and he's trying to tell people in his quiet voice of this is how it needs to be, like stay the fuck away from the animal, don't freak out the animal. And he keeps hoping his sister will get there because she can talk to people.
And so she does finally show up,
Gives a quick little song and dance.
and, shit happens,
We get one of our first foreshadowing here,
which is,
she mentions she goes through her little resume of things that she's good at. And did you catch she said she was good at riding motorcycles?
they actually reference that twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then at the end, she pulls the Akira.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the horse freaks out, and because the production people are not doing what OJ asked them to do, and they're just taking advantage and doing whatever they want because they're in production.
Well, too many people too close to the horse, and they put that orb thing right up next to its eye.
Yeah. So they're doing whatever they want, and the horse reacts, and the Haywoods get fired. And then did you notice they rolling in a CGI horse or a green screen model of a horse
Mhm.
behind them,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they're going to do it digitally? So they go back.
Yeah, we have Emerald riding in the car with OJ back to the farm, and I loved the shot of of M. She has her head resting against the window, and the window is cracked open, maybe like 2 inches, and we have some of her hair that is going out the window, and her hair, I feel like it is doing, it is mimicking what the Sky Dancers, those tube.
The wacky waver tube dancers,
the
tube guys.
The tube man, and we can see them reflecting on the glass as well. And I feel like that she's mimicking those tube man dancers.
Yeah, good shot. This movie is beautifully shot, and all of the night scenes were actually shot in the day, and they came up with a way to make it look like it did. It's phenomenal.
We go to Jupiter's claim, and Lucky gets dropped off, and we meet Jupe. And oh, so briefly, Lucky is sold for $11,500.
Yeah, and they're sitting in Jupe's office, and M comes in, and because OJ doesn't want her there,
So
and
of course she does.
and they have a little thing out on the steps, and they're up there, and they find out that Jupe was the little kid on that TV show.
Yeah, she sort of fangirls on him.
Yeah, a little bit, and then.
Well, did you notice that when he was taking them back into the back room, I think he makes a comment of su casa is mi casa.
Yeah, because he wants to buy the ranch.
But yeah, it was supposed to be mi casa is su casa, but what he was foreshadowing is, your home is my home.
Yeah, because he wants to buy the ranch,
Yeah.
and he's talking to OJ because OJ wants to buy some of the horses back, and Jupe's like, how about, you got my offer, I want to buy your ranch, blah, 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 and changes the subject because we don't know this yet, but spoiler alert, Jupe's feeding the fucking alien the horses. And and this is where M kind of is still fangirling on him, and then Jupe's like, hey, let me show you something that I usually charge people for, and this is his memorabilia room.
Mm-hmm. From his childhood show.
And then they figure it out, and then M and OJ figure out that, oh, he was on the show with the fucking killer monkey, and so M kind of asks him what happened, and in a roundabout way and not very specific at all, he kind of explains what happened.
He doesn't talk anything about himself. He only talks about the Saturday Night Live skit. So while Jupe is explaining the Saturday Night Live skit, this is where we flash to the actual event, and then the camera is taking us onto the set.
Yeah. And I always felt these scenes, when we cut to them, for me, it was very uncomfortable because I know what happened and my brain is trying to piece it together, and he doesn't show us enough. So my brain has to keep doing it. And so as we keep cutting to these things, I'm kind of like, what the fuck is this have to do with anything?
Well, for me, one of the things that was distressing about this is the first time we saw the set with the monkey right in the beginning, we only see a woman's legs and a lot of blood. Then on this scene, we see that it's a little girl. It's a young girl who was attached to those legs. So now it's even more distressing that she's about to be attacked by the monkey or by the chimpanzee. And then later on, we get to see the after effect of what happened to her, that she survived it.
And so then back at the house, they're reflecting on Dad, and they're listening to music, and then why is Ghost out in the arena? And then we get the Ghost title card.
One night, the Haywoods notice their electricity fluctuating and their horses aggressively reacting to an unknown presence. They discover an unidentified flying object that has been taking their horses. The siblings decide to document and sell evidence of the UFO's existence and recruit electronics store employee Angel Torres to set up surveillance cameras. The UFO arrives and abducts a horse that has broken out of the ranch stable, as well as a metal horse statue M has stolen from Jupiter's claim to act as a decoy. The next day, M attempts to recruit famed cinematographer Antlers Holst to help them record the UFO. Holst declines, not wanting to encourage M in what he sees as an endless pursuit of wealth and fame. Angel then arrives and reveals that a cloud in the valley never moves. OJ suspects this is the UFO's hiding place before thinking, based on the UFO's flight patterns, that it's not a ship at all.
So one thing that happens, I think, right early on is OJ and M are listening to some music and drinking and talking about Dad and everything. Did you catch what song was playing?
Yeah, Walk On By. It's about a gal who doesn't look at the person, an ex-lover.
Yeah.
So no eye-to-eye contact.
Yeah, it basically foreshadows don't look directly at her.
Yeah.
Also briefly, when we have OJ out looking for Ghost, he thinks he sees something for just a split second, and he's not sure, but this is the first reveal we get. A fleeting, very, very brief look of our UFO.
Yeah, and Peele does this a couple times.
It's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, because I blinked.
Yeah, and I love it because
It's perfect.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, did I just see that? And kind of the same time as OJ's feeling it as well.
When M hears about this, she's instantly thinking, how can we cash in on this?
Right. The ranch is in trouble. They need money. And so, yeah, she wants to capitalize on this.
So we meet Angel also briefly at Fry's, and the next thing you know, we're out at the ranch with Angel.
I like that when they go into Fry's and they're talking about the Oprah moment, M is totally trying to convince OJ to do this and that it's going to be great. I love when they get up to the counter and Angel's like, are you going to install this yourself? And OJ's like, is this a hard install? And Angel's like, not for me, but you guys can't do it.
I just love the fact that they used Fry's.
Yeah.
as a location, because at that time, all of the Fry's were being closed, but the owner agreed to keep that one open specifically for this movie.
And so now all of the cameras are set up, and
Well, I love how when they're setting up the cameras and they're asking Angel, can you make it go higher? Can you make it go up more? And he's thinking, obviously the first thing he's thinking is, if you're doing security, don't you want to point it down and not up?
yeah.
So he starts spouting off his conspiracy theories about UFOs.
And OJ's just kind of like, okay, cool. He could care less.
We don't believe in those things.
Right.
I just love when they're trying to get him to leave, and he knows what's going on. He's figuring it out, and he doesn't want to leave. But finally, he starts getting into his car to go, and he says, "By the way, my manager, 5 stars, Angel."
Yeah. And then so we get to that night, and
And doesn't she show up with that Jupiter's Claim horse?
I think so.
Oh yeah, she stole the decoy horse.
Right. And what's his name shows up too? Jupiter.
Right.
Jupe shows up in the truck, and he's at the fence line, and
He invites them to his new show. Yeah, whatever.
yeah, but he really knows that M stole that, because he was like, "Where did you get that?" And she said, "Where did you get yours?" And it went back and forth. And so,
We get the clever title card.
and now we're at night.
And OJ is drawn to some noises outside. So he heads out to check things out.
This was probably the scariest part for me, because the way
It was creepy.
Jordan films it, the first time this is one of those first time moments, right? It either gets you or it doesn't, because after you see it, it's never the same.
Right.
But watching it again last night, it creeped me out.
Well, is this where the little kids jump out?
Yes.
And my thought when I was watching this is, I'm still at the point of thinking, is this an alien UFO movie? And if that's the case, when we keep seeing little things poking out, I'm like, this is kind of like Signs. This is where the aliens kind of, there but not there, and you can't really see them for sure.
Sure. I could feel Sign vibes there.
Yeah, so he goes out, turns off the lights, turns off the power, and then he's like 20, 30 feet away, and it comes back on. And then we're looking at the shadows. Is that a figure in the shadows?
I didn't see it until it moved.
Right.
And that's so good, And his delivery of nope is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to go investigate. You're getting the fuck out of there.
Right.
Did the one that swung down, did it get you?
That's the kicker. See, that's what really sells it, because that is somebody, and all of a sudden, whoop, somebody's out at the doorway, and he was just at that doorway a moment ago.
Yeah. So, and then he lands up clocking one, and it turns out it's Jupe's kids.
Well, my thought about this whole scene is, those are some pretty stupid kids, because if
They could get shot.
well, that's my thought is, ranchers usually when they're investigating noises or anything, they're carrying a rifle with them or something. They're going to take out a coyote or whatever it could possibly be. So those kids are lucky they didn't get shot.
Yeah, I agree. One of them just got hit. So there you go.
And then we cut back to Angel, and this is where you get a really lame jump scare. Angel is sitting there in the light, and then in the background, we see this shadow slowly approaching him, and the music builds. And then we don't jump, but Angel, he's, ah!
And it's just his coworker.
Yeah, lame.
Well, did it bother either of you that Angel had tapped their feed from Fry's and was spying on them through Fry's?
Did it bother me? No.
No.
Was it a dick move? Yeah.
Well, it makes me rethink if I ever want to have one of the, like a Best Buy or any of those guys install the system for me.
Meanwhile, OJ he's retrieving a horse outside, but the horse gets scared and runs away. And then we spot a strange cloud, and we are staring at this strange cloud, and we get these rumbling sounds.
Yeah.
Is this where the praying mantis climbs over the camera? When
Yes.
one of the camera goes out
Yes.
and the praying, I thought that was kind of just obvious convenience, in the movie of you're finally going to get your shot, and here's now, of course, a praying mantis.
Yeah. I think the praying mantis did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So,
He's working with Jean Jacket.
yeah, Jean Jacket can talk to people
Mm-hmm.
or animals, because it is an animal.
She tries to get the praying mantis off, but she can't get up to the camera. And when OJ shows up, M sees something, and she is scared, and she wants to leave. And this is where I feel like I get my first moment of OJ. He is resolute. I'm staying. Got mouths to feed.
Yeah.
She's scared shitless, but he's like, I'm staying.
And he says, where are you going to go? Right? Where are we going? This is home. And he is going to find out what's going on. And yeah, he's absolutely resolute.
Something that I had to read about later that I didn't understand in this movie is this thing has been around for a while, and the only people we know of that it's attacked is the hikers, and we don't know the reason why. Other than that, it's just been going after horses. Do you know why it got aggressive?
Because people looked at it?
No. Apparently it was, I guess in some interview it was revealed that when it went after the decoy and ate the decoy somehow agitated it or upset it or hurt it going through its system. And after that, it then thought, okay, these people are on my feeding grounds. This is my territory. I need to chase them all off so they don't do this again.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you meant something different.
Oh, okay.
But no, yeah, the monster Jean Jacket eats the fucking decoy. He's got to spit it out.
We do get a very brief dad flashback. OJ has a very brief dad flashback. I feel like it's dad talking to him about, doing what he needs to do.
Right.
We have M. She makes a phone call to the Antlers host, and she pitches the idea of a documentary. About a documentary.
Right. And Antlers is like, you're chasing a dream that,
you don't wake up from.
And you're always looking for that impossible shot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can spend your whole life looking for it, and it will cost you everything. And chances are you'll never find it.
What I did find interesting about him is each time we see him watching his I'm guessing his work, or anyway, some sort of work, it's about, nature being nature, a predatory animal taking down another animal.
Yeah. And do you see all the shots of the eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Just another tell saying, don't look this fucker in the eye. That's going to be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he declines, and I think he hangs up on her, and she's like, fuck that guy. Right.
Angel shows up, and he has a very interesting thing to reveal. The cloud doesn't move.
And so now they're starting to put two and two together. And Angel's the one that noticed the cloud because he's fucking spying on him.
And that's where we get that line. I've been looking at the same damn cloud for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But then he makes a really interesting revelation. What if it isn't a ship? And it's curious that he took it in that direction. And I think the reason why he's compelled to take it in that direction is because of those screams and the grumblings that he's been hearing up in the night sky.
I got to admit, when I figured out that it wasn't a ship and it was the actual alien,
An organism.
I liked it even better. And yes, I immediately thought to Jaws. So,
well, that was the great twist of it, is it wasn't a typical, Signs type movie. That this was, in essence, a giant jellyfish in the sky that was feeding on people and feeding on horses and attacking. And when I finally made the connection of what those screams were, which is, those screams weren't the noise the creature was making. It was the noises of the people that the creature had eaten and was currently digesting.
Or the horses.
Or the horses or whatever. That's the noises. And that made it even kind of freakier.
yeah, agreed.
The next title card is Gordy.
This is where he takes us back and shows us what happens, right?
Yep. And this is where we, the audience, are revealed to why this child actor of Jupe is traumatized the way that he is, and we get to see firsthand now what it was that he was seeing.
Right.
Well, two of the things that we find out with these flashbacks is, one, it was a balloon that set the chimpanzee off, a popping balloon.
Right.
Which, again, I'm going to call out a lot of foreshadowing in this movie. A popping balloon in this scene is also foreshadowing how Jean Jacket's killed later on, which is a popping of a balloon. The other big thing in this scene that I kind of felt, and I don't know if this is right or not, but everyone else gets beaten on and killed by this chimpanzee except for Ricky, who it comes up, and he had mentioned earlier something about, fish, what's it called? what do they call
Fist bump.
Fist, except for the fact that he, the chimpanzee goes to fist bump him. And I thought maybe that gave Ricky some kind of thought in his head that he worked better with wild animals, that he was capable of connecting with them and domesticating them versus everyone else who wasn't. So I thought maybe that gave him some kind of little ego in the fact that leads to him thinking he can domesticate Jean Jacket.
Oh, he could have. He could have.
Well, he falsely, yeah, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So when the attack happens, the camera is suddenly knocked over and it goes black, and we listen to several seconds of audio, and then we get another title card, 1998, and then that's where the camera pulls us into the set, and we see the girl that she is still moving, and Gordy just keeps going until she finally stops moving. And you have that strange reveal of the shoe standing straight up. It's balanced for whatever reason, perfectly so.
Right. And we also see that the monkey, I think, is eating her face as well as pounding the shit, because when I have to watch it with subtitles, and it's subtitled squishy eating noises. So I'm pretty sure that fucking monkey was eating her face.
Yeah, I like how the father character tries to sneak away. No, the monkey or the chimpanzee's not having that. He's going after him.
Yeah, they're all fucked.
And we know that Jupe is going to be okay because he grows up. But as we are looking at Gordy from underneath the table, I'm thinking, please don't look over here.
And when
Please
he
don't look
does,
over here.
it's fucking terrifying.
You should be dropping a deuce if you are Jupe.
I mean, are you fucking kidding me? He notices Jupe under the table, and Gordy comes up, and
Gordy's first of all covered in blood.
yeah, and Gordy's looking through, I guess, the linen of the table, which
tablecloth.
Yeah, which avoids the eye contact with Jupe and the chimp. And so I think the chimp is, because they're not making eye contact, he's like, "Oh, this is my boy. We've done fist bumps before," and they go to give it a fist bump again. And just as they were about to touch, God bless you, Jordan Peele, bang! The fucking chimp gets shot, and the blood goes, and the blood splatters, and it's such a shocking moment that I fucking loved it.
That was my
Not that they killed the chimp, but that moment of the scare I loved.
In this movie, that was my oh fuck moment.
Sure.
And we're whisked back to present day, and we see that Jupe is just standing there. Oh, okay, he's reflecting on this moment. And then that's where his girl comes in. And then, all right, let's practice one more time. And then we get a lucky title card.
Jupe introduces a live show in Jupiter's claim, intending to use Lucky as bait to lure out the UFO. For months, Jupe has been secretly offering the Haywood's horses to the UFO to gain its trust and domesticate it before revealing it in the show. The UFO arrives earlier than expected and consumes Jupe and everyone in attendance, ultimately leaving only Lucky alive. OJ, attempting to retrieve Lucky, confirms his theory that the UFO is actually a territorial predatory organism. After the creature showers the Haywoods household with the detritus and the regurgitated remains of the Jupiter's Claims crowd, OJ realizes that it only attacks those who look directly at it and devises a plan to record it. M and Angel are hesitant until M receives a call from Holst, who now agrees to help. OJ names the organism Jean Jacket after a horse that had been part of Haywood's stable in the past.
So there was a big moment in this scene with Ricky out at Jupiter's Claim, getting ready to do the thing, that all the pieces kind of started connecting for me. And that's when I saw the back of Ricky's jacket.
With the UFO on it.
Because at first, throughout the whole thing, I never connected that he knew about the alien, that he knew about this creature. Just that, he wanted the ranch and all this stuff. And I didn't know what he was doing with the horses. I noticed he was hesitant about returning the horses. But now it's like, oh, he's known about it all along. And he's been feeding the horses to the creature.
Yeah.
So that's where it all connected of, oh, so he's been planning. He wanted to buy up all the area to create a UFO show.
Yeah. And it wasn't until last night. Remember the scene where OJ's walking around at night and he can hear the audio from the Jupiter's Claim?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was doing these shows regularly.
That's what I was thinking too.
It didn't click to me until last night when I watched it.
That was the first show.
That was the first show.
And
it goes horribly wrong.
Well, not for the horse, not for Lucky.
Well, yeah, but Lucky didn't look up.
So this approaching storm is, I think, a wonderful precursor to what is about to go down. And we have OJ. He decides he's going to go get Lucky back. So he heads off to Jupiter's Claim. He's starting the show, right? And he's being very flamboyant about it. And, you know, he has that moment where he introduces his first crush, Mary Jo Elliott, and she has the white shawl over her face. What the fuck was that about?
That was the girl who was getting eaten by the monkey. Chimp.
I think that kind of showed, I almost felt like we were supposed to sense that Ricky's not all bad. He's not a bad guy. He's just, you know, he's still taking care of her in a way. I'm sure he's still financially helping her.
Oh, I didn't put that much thought into it, but because they were on the show together and we find out that was his co-star, I feel like they have a bond and they witnessed and experienced something so traumatic that, you know, naturally they would keep in touch. I think.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Oh,
I was so confused. Why do you have this Wild West show, if you will, and he's talking about a UFO? Why are you revealing that on a Western show?
Mm-hmm.
and the surrounding. I mean, look at the town he built, Jupiter's Claim.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Jupiter's?
Yeah.
I believe so. Did you know that set is now a permanent fixture at Universal Studios?
Yeah. And so as he's getting the show started,
The clouds rumble.
and Jean Jacket shows up early.
Because it's pissed off because of the fake horse,
Yep.
the decoy.
And he's hungry and he's come to eat.
Yep. The wind builds and everybody's busy looking straight up at it. So it was interesting. I couldn't quite make out necessarily why were we inside the creature so we could see everybody in there squishing around. I didn't get that.
Oh, I thought it was horrific. I knew exactly why we were in there. We were witnessing these humans being digested
Well, I also
and
thought-
eaten. And you know what it reminded me of real quick? The Sarlacc pit.
Well, yeah. It made me think that Peele was giving us the impression of we've been sucked up too, and we are going through the exact same horror that they are going through. This is what these people are seeing that now that they're inside its gut.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of, I don't want to say the money shot, but I mean, this is one of those shots that puts us in there. And yeah, I thought it was horrific.
And I know we had all the screams and everything, but I swear I heard like bones breaking too. Did you hear that noise?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Mm-mm.
Probably not.
Okay.
But then again, I can't hear much.
OJ shows up to Jupiter's Claim and he finds nobody there.
I know, that was
It
the-
is completely empty.
That was the crazy thing is that I didn't realize at first that Jean Jacket had gotten everybody.
Yeah, until we see all the debris everywhere. It's like, motherfucker.
Right. And
But
he goes to get Lucky.
but there's Lucky. OJ gets knocked out.
OJ's running from,
Right.
and he would have gotten sucked up, but he gets lifted up and then knocked out on the ceiling. And then we cut to black.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, because he stopped his eye contact.
So we have Angel. He's trying to leave, but his truck dies. No electricity. We have OJ yelling at M that the thing is alive and it's eating people.
Right. And OJ makes it to the truck and gets Lucky loaded back. And as he's driving along, the fucking decoy comes crashing through his windshield. That was a fucking jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Yeah. And then from here, now it's over the house. And Angel and M, they're inside. And that's where you get, you know, the horror show that's going on right outside the house.
I thought, and this might sound weird, I thought this shot was beautiful. When they cut to the wide and we see the house, but we have enough clearance and headroom to see Jean Jacket when the lightning flashes and how the rain is falling off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But on the inside, you have the red rain falling.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Do you think it was regurgitating or do you think it was pooping?
What's the difference?
I don't know. I'd rather be regurgitated on than pooped on.
Oh, okay.
And from inside the house, we hear lots of screaming.
Right, because he's still digesting.
And I guess, don't we also have like all the little metal objects falling from them as well?
Yeah, you have all sorts of metallic
Yeah,
crap.
it's anything you can't digest.
OJ's in his truck, and he can't see a damn thing. It is just a deluge of rain. And then suddenly his truck stops, and then that's when he opens up his door, and he looks up, and he's like, nope. And he closes the door. That's when you get the horse crashing into his windshield. And then OJ reaches over and he locks the door.
I love that motion. So good. I probably would have done the same fucking thing.
He wakes up and it's now twilight. And OJ, he shows up to the house. M and Angel, they run out to OJ, to the Fry's van. And then we have a flashback to a commercial shoot. Don't look at her eyes. Hanging out. You know, what was that about? The saucer shows up. That's right. And OJ looks down, not up.
Right.
This is where he has that revelation to not look at the creature.
Right. When he goes to get M and Angel, if you notice, as he's telling them to hurry up, he's looking at the ground. He's not looking up because, well, jean jacket's out there.
Yeah, and that's, for whatever reason, at this critical moment, he goes back to that commercial shoot, to where Lucky freaks out and they get booted off the set, and all of a sudden it just clicks for him. Don't look.
Right. And so they leave and they go get something to eat.
Yeah. Well, first they go to Angel's place, and then we hear there's some news coverage about 40 missing people, and the 40 missing people, that's where this is going to tell us that Antlers is going to put 2 and 2 together.
And he calls M and says he'll do it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So because we have M getting that text from Antlers, turns out Angel, OJ, and M, they're at the house, and Antler shows up. How do you see it? It's going to get hungry again. We're not the reason it's settled here. That was Jupe. He got caught up trying to tame a predator.
Right. Right. And now they have to deal with it. And I like this bit also because they're talking about electricity and how it affects the equipment. And this is where Antler reveals that he has a camera that has no electricity.
Had you heard of that kind of equipment before? I had never heard
absolutely.
of a camera that didn't have, like a movie camera that didn't have electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how they used them in the 30s, 20s.
Yeah, so they're not common, but they are still there.
Yeah. And I love the siblings' reaction. They were like, yeah, let's fucking do this.
Well, what didn't they make some kind of comment of, this is why we wanted him?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then this is where we are assigned the name of Jean Jacket. So they come up with a plan. They want to get up on a ridge, and then Antler, he has the non-electrical camera, and he'll be up there. And then this is where we get some sage, not advice, but, in a way it is advice. We have OJ saying, you don't turn your back on a bear. You don't wear red around a bull. It's like that. You don't look at it unless you want its attention.
Right before that, though, Night Before, is that where Antlers kind of sings the song People Eater, Purple People Eater?
Probably.
That happens at night when they're sitting around the table.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's
that night at dinner.
It's the day before they go off and do this adventure.
Right. And and because Angel, he's talking about, maybe we're doing something good. Maybe we're saving lives. Maybe we're saving the earth.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of wondering what the significance of that song was. And the only thing I come up with is he talks about a one-eyed creature, which is, of course, what this thing is. It seems like it's, when we see the big jellyfish reveal at the end, it's only got one big eye.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not purple.
No.
But it's a people eater.
Yes, it is.
So we get a shot of those 4 walkie-talkies on the table. It's like, okay, they're going to be organized here. And then we have Lucky getting that hood put over his head, and he's not going to fuck with you.
Right. He's protecting his horse.
Did you notice something kind of funny about the hood and about the clothes that OJ was wearing?
Funny? Funny
Yeah.
haha or funny peculiar?
I thought it was kind of funny, a little bit funny haha. Lucky, with the name Lucky, has a green hood on his head. OJ, like Orange Juice, is wearing orange.
Yeah. And did you notice the name of the production that was on the hoodie?
Mm-mm.
Scorpion King.
That's funny.
So. To circumvent Jean Jacket's effect of shutting down all electrical equipment in its vicinity, Holst brings a hand-crank film camera. The group sets up a field of battery-powered tubemen props to track its location in the sky. However, a TMZ reporter trespasses onto the field and is thrown from his electric motorcycle when it shuts down near Jean Jacket, which devours him shortly after. While capturing footage of Jean Jacket, Holst climbs a hill to sacrifice himself for a better view and is consumed along with his camera, forcing the remaining three to flee. Angel survives an attack from Jean Jacket by becoming entangled in a tarp and barbed wire, causing the monster to unfurl into a new, larger form resembling a jellyfish. OJ attentionally looks directly at Jean Jacket, drawing the monster's attention and allowing M to use the motorcycle to rush to Jupiter's claim. There, she untethers the park's large helium balloon mascot of Jupe, whose winking eye attracts Jean Jacket's attention. Jean Jacket attempts to feed on the balloon while M uses an attractions manual camera to photograph it, and the balloon bursts inside Jean Jacket's body, destroying it. With the picture as proof of the creature's existence and reporters arriving nearby, M sees OJ and Lucky standing outside of Jupiter's claim unharmed. Roll credits.
So we are given Jean Jacket title card. Okay, this is going to be good.
Here we go. And so they come up with this plan to track Jean Jacket by going out and stealing all these car batteries in order to power up all the stolen tubemen that they took as well. But what this is going to do, it's going to tell them exactly where Jean Jacket is, because these things are going to die when it's close.
Yeah, they'll deactivate, which I didn't catch right away. I kept thinking, I understand that they're going to do something with electricity, but why do they need all these wacky waivers? It made perfect sense. It was a brilliant plan, because you look out there and see all of these things out there dancing, and like when they die, you know that it's close to that area.
Yeah. And so they're getting ready to pull this off, and
She starts the music.
They start to attract it, and then this dude on a motorcycle pulls up. And it turns out that this guy's from TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
Look, guys, it's TMZ.
I thought this bit was funny because...
What, you don't want to be on TV?
Clearly, this guy doesn't give a fuck and will do anything for the story, and is just, again,
Total whore.
Yes. And what I love about this bit is what Angel says, is as the guy's driving up, he goes, what happens when you're going 65 miles an hour on an electric bike and all of a sudden you lose power? And then sure as shit, whoop, he goes flipping.
One thing I found really interesting about this scene is throughout this whole movie, we get, when I mentioned earlier, was that realism of how people might really react to things. And I loved how OJ tried to save the TMZ guy at first. But as soon as the moment he realized, I'm going to get myself killed trying to save him, he's like, okay, I'm gone. This guy's fucked.
Do you know why he leaves?
Why?
He looks at Jean Jacket in the eye.
That's what I took
through the mirror.
That's what I took it as well.
That's why he looks at the guy and goes, sorry. Yeah. So he inadvertently brings Jean Jacket down to the TMZ guy.
I liked how OJ is sitting there on Lucky and he just watches the motorcycle whiz by. It's like, you idiot.
He knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so the TMZ guy gets eaten, and now the plan is kind of fucked, right? And in the meantime, you have Holst and
Angel.
Thank you. On the ridge taking footage, and Holst isn't getting the shot that he wants.
Well, one thing I thought was interesting, I read this, that there's something called the money shot and the money hour, I guess. Is that
Twilight?
The
golden hour?
The golden hour. That's what I'm looking for. Where the sun's just perfect in the sky and you're getting the perfect lighting and everything. And that's something that Antlers, Holst notices, is that this is what he's probably sought all of his life, which is the perfect shot. So he decides he's going to risk it and go out there with his little camera and capture the money shot.
What do you guys think of the spit?
So I got to say that it was wonderfully tense when we have OJ fleeing at the last moment, and here comes, Jean Jacket, and he is racing towards us, and we finally get our first really good look of Jean Jacket just coming down low and swooping, and we see the circular, underside of Jean Jacket. But it's that next shot when we have from Antler's perspective, and we see the tiny little horse of OJ and Lucky, and then that big, huge side saucer just swirling along. I watched that a couple times.
Yeah, it was a great shot. Great shot.
Do you think that Holst was a little suicidal? Like he was planning on dying or something? Because that seemed like a really stupid thing to do.
No, I didn't take it like that.
No, I thought he might have felt he was untouchable, maybe, or it wouldn't have ate him. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I think what he was thinking was he just has to get this shot. And chances are, once Jean Jacket eats this motherfucker, he's going to spit out the camera. So that film may be okay. And he may have...
I wondered that too, if they were going to find that camera in the end.
He may have captured that moment in time.
And that's how I was taking it as well, because Antler, he's thinking that I'm going to sacrifice myself for this incredible footage. This footage is hopefully going to be found, and people will be gobsmacked by it.
Well,
Yeah.
it would make him immortal, which is probably a lot of them figure, is that he'll always be remembered as the director who captured this shot.
I love his screaming. He sells it very well, Michael Wincott. But the bit that gets me and kind of makes me feel uncomfortable is when you can see the shadow of his legs as he's racing up off the ground. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
How fucking scary.
Now, before this happens, what we also have happening is we have OJ and Lucky racing away, and then OJ reaches around and he gets that little chute and flags, headed out the back, and then he gets close to the barn where he rolls off, and then Lucky continues on. And when Lucky continues on, what we have now happening is that Jean Jacket seems to be pretty fucking pissed off because he's coming back with a vengeance now.
Right.
Well, they kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, and it's something I didn't catch right away, was because of eating the decoy and the decoy hurt it, it now associates the flags that were around the decoy as danger.
Yeah.
And so when he lets go the flags at the end, like a parachute, that's what scares off Jean Jacket.
Yeah, he's protecting Lucky as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where we lose Antlers.
Yeah. And while we're losing Antlers, Angel...
He's caught looking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bam, that tarp slaps him in the face and it sends him tumbling downhill.
Fucking Lucky.
Fucking Lucky.
Right? And in fact, I'm pretty sure that his character was supposed to die, and the actor talked Jordan Peele and the execs to writing it so he could live.
And he does get sucked up.
Yeah.
But he gets spat out just a moment later because the barbed wire fence is being sucked up there with him. And
Right.
bleh.
Yeah, Jean Jacket is having none of it.
Yeah.
Now we have Jean Jacket, and he's heading towards the house. And M, she's scared shitless. And she starts to almost get sucked up, but she's just outside of the path of it.
I kind of thought of Twister,
Yeah.
like a tornado.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a good shot, though, of her getting flipped out.
So M, she's walking away from the house in a very deliberate manner. She's keeping her head down, but she's just steadily walking away. And this is where you have OJ spots her, and he tells her to get to the bike.
Right. And so this is where OJ is going to make eye contact and go one way to lure the beast away, and M is going to go the other way on the bike that she said earlier that she knew how to ride.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, we can tell that Jean Jacket is deeply wounded because the creature is not retaining its original form that we've seen. This is where it slips into that jellyfish look.
What'd you guys think of this look?
The jellyfish look?
Yeah.
I thought it was a good way to convey that Jean Jacket is suffering.
Yeah.
I thought of it more of, this kind of explains a little bit about its flying ability, in that it's almost like a giant kite and it kind of soars like a jellyfish, in that you could kind of see that could carry it on the wind and everything.
Sure. I was just so relieved that it didn't have tentacles and it didn't look like your typical space alien.
Yeah, very,
know,
very much.
Because I already had bought in the fact that it was the actual organism and not a ship. And now it can change its form and shape. And I thought it was an original idea. And I applaud Jordan Peele for that.
The only thing that took me out of the creature's look was when we get the reveal of its eye.
And when I see that and it's revealed to us, it's like, oh, that's what is in the opening credits.
Yes. Yes. Because when you're watching the credits,
You
you're
don't
like,
know what that is.
is this Tron? What the fuck am I watching?
I was very unsure if OJ was to be making it out of this alive, because he's deliberately pulling Jean Jacket further away, and he's being very deliberate about it.
Yes. And in the meantime, M takes off and goes towards Jupiter's claim, and the music starts to build up, and we're coming up on our finale. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck are they going to take care of this, or how are they going to kill it?
Totally.
And when she runs around and then she starts untethering the big balloon, I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
My first thought was the balloon was going to go up and Jean Jacket was going to choke on it. That basically it's like any animal that eats a balloon, like dogs eating balloons and things, they tend to choke on them. I thought it was just going to choke and crash. You brought up an interesting point of whether or not OJ, you thought he was going to live or not. In the original story, in the original script, he dies. But people told him, this has got potential for sequels. You know, don't kill him off so we could possibly bring him back. So that was the only reason why they let him live.
And then after the balloon goes up and it's like, what the hell is M doing? Why she got all those coins? Are you trying to kill the creature? With what? It's the well with the picture. She's getting her Oprah picture.
That's right, because you didn't need electricity.
That was my first thought too, is because we had seen the kids with the camera thing. We had seen a picture, I think, in one of Ricky's office scenes where it showed what it looked like from there, and you could see the sky up. And I thought, oh, she's hoping to fly above it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it worked because she gets the money shot. Fucking Jean Jacket explodes. The press arrive. She turns her head.
And then through all of the dust, we see the reveal. It's OJ and Lucky. He made it. Yes.
And never once did I think that he was dead and she was seeing a vision. And I know that that's kind of one of the things that's out there. And I was watching an interview with Jordan Peele, and he says, it's up to you. And that's what I love about this movie. And that's what I love about making movies, is it get you to talk this, that, and the other. So yeah, right on. And that was Nope.
Yep. Welcome to a new segment we like to call
Face the Wheel.
The premise is simple. I will spin the wheel, and whatever category comes up, John and Don will apply it to the movie that we are reviewing. Once they have presented their idea to me, I will decide the winner of this week's wheel. So here are the categories: mashup, plot, rename, genre, reboot, alternate ending. I liked it better when it was called Spin Again. Pick any. Add any character from any movie. Here we go. And the category is mashup.
If I was going to do a mashup, I think I would mash it up with Cloverfield, in that a lot of this movie would be firsthand kind of, they talked so much about getting the money shot and getting the perfect shot that we would have seen through the camera lens as they were trying to film this creature, as well as the creature might spawn other creatures, kind of AKA Tremors a little bit, but that we might get a little bit more of this creature and its intentions. But again, my big point is that it would all have been through the camera lens.
So more of a found footage.
Kind of.
So yeah, Cloverfield.
But we would have had kind of immersed with them coming up with the plans and everything. But every time that they pulled out the camera stuff, we would have been looking through the camera.
Interesting. I'm going to mash it up with Predator. Predator comes to Earth hunting this fucker. And this fucker, Jean Jacket, actually is on the run. And the Predator is more of a bounty hunter now. And he comes to Earth. But, you know, his intentions may or may not get misconstrued. But he befriends M because OJ gets eaten. And so it's M and the Predator against Jean Jacket. So I'm mashing up Predator with Nope.
John has
Cloverfield.
That's right. The found footage.
The more like just the view from the camera.
Okay, so we have Cloverfield and Nope, and we have with Dawn, Nope and Predator. I like John's, but I like Dawn's just a little bit more.
Predator and Nope.
So you mean basically the movie that was already done, which was called Alien versus Predator.
Yes, absolutely.
So
and yours was called Cloverfield. So there you go.
So with the point going to Dawn, there you have it, listeners. That concludes this week's
Face the Wheel.
All right, what do you guys think? You guys ready to rate this flick?
I'm ready to rate this flick. John, are you ready to rate this flick?
I'd rather get sucked off by Jean Jacket, but since I'm trapped out in the middle of nowhere on this ranch, fuck, why not?
Hey, Professor, how do we do our ratings?
We do our ratings on a scale of 1 to 5 fucks. 5 fucks is a movie that we think is cinematic gold. A 1 fuck movie is a movie where you get done watching it and you're like, I'm never watching that again.
And what's a 0?
A 0 fuck movie is where you get done watching it, turn to your buddy. Oh, for shit's sake. What the hell? Why would you make me? I want 2 hours and 10 minutes of my life back.
Or in other words, we just don't give a fuck. All right, so...
Yep, that's you, mister.
Thank you. Nope is the third outing from Jordan Peele, and I am a big fan of Jordan Peele, so I went into this film with high hopes. It didn't quite blow me away like I was hoping, but I was very entertained, and I found what Jordan Peele was trying to say interesting, and an interesting take on the world and where we're at. I think he sees things through his lens that some of us don't see, and he's doing a great job at bringing it to our attention. I thought the film was shot beautifully. I thought it was acted very well. As a horror film, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a horror film, but I would definitely call it a science fiction film. And it did have some scares, and that bit with OJ in the barn and the kids, that legitimately freaked me out. So kudos to you. With all that being said, I'm giving Nope a solid 4 fucks.
Okay. So, John, do you care if I go next?
Nope.
Nope is a movie that I had not seen before. This is my first time. In watching the movie, I had expectations that were not necessarily all that high. So this movie does have a fair chance of being a good watch for me because I had lowered my expectations. The movie is not necessarily what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be some sort of a UFO ship movie, and instead it's a UFO organism movie. So that was a really cool twist. The movie is, I think, a very pretty movie to watch. Looking up at the nighttime sky, and for having such a long time before we get the reveal of the creature, I think was very, very wise. OJ, M, they were great characters together, and I thought that their dialogue worked well. I also thought that it was really interesting how we have this other story going on about Jupe's past. That whole bit with Gordy, I'm still trying to figure out, was that a prevalent part of the story? Did we need that part of the story of Gordy in there? Would it have been good enough not to have the reveal of the traumatic incident being shown to us? The movie isn't necessarily too long, but I did find myself thinking, we need to wrap this up. And the third act actually goes pretty darn good because that's when the movie really starts to take off. And I think that it is a good watch. The The character of Angel and Antlers, I could go either way with them. I understand the passion that Antlers has in that he wants to be an iconic movie maker that is going to be remembered forever for what he has captured. And he was willing to sacrifice his life just to have that hopefully work out for him, but he'll never necessarily know about it. But I think that he was doing it for the greater good.
The greater good.
Looking at this movie today, I think it's going to be a good watch the next time I see it, because I think that this movie works for the next 10, 15, 20 years. The fact that we have so little of other characters, and it's predominantly just between M and OJ, I think works well for it. The movie is a suspenseful watch, especially during the third act when we get some really good reveals of Jean Jacket. I think that this movie is a solid 4-fuck movie.
4 fucks from the professor.
Should I go next?
Nope.
Before I go, would you like to guess what my rating is going to be?
Yep. I think that you are going to give it 3 fucks.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Okay, because I've been really debating it in my head. Are you reading it clearly?
Nope.
Okay. Not much there, is there?
Nope.
Nope is a bold and visually stunning movie, showcasing Jordan Peele's signature blend of suspense and social commentary. The film excels in its innovative storytelling, eerie atmosphere, and strong performances, particularly by Daniel and Kiki. However, its complex plot and ambiguous narrative may leave some viewers puzzled. While I can't say this is Peele's best work, Nope is a memorable cinematic experience. My biggest gripe with this movie, as I've said throughout this podcast, is its pacing. It's just too damn slow, which really makes me not want to watch this movie again. And if I do watch it again, I'm betting I'm going to fast forward through a lot of parts. It's for those reasons I cannot give this, a 4 or a 5, even though the fact that I love Jordan Peele and I love the fact that, I just really like his movies and that they make you think. You were absolutely right in that. So it's for those reasons I am giving Nope 3 fucks.
Bam! Fucking nailed it. With 3 fucks from the comic book guy, 4 fucks from the professor and myself, that gives Nope an average of 3.7 fucks, which now ties it in the 17th spot with Green Street Hooligans, Dogma, Talladega Nights, Halloween, Interstellar, and The Outsiders. It is slightly better than 1917, Top Gun, Commando, and The Shining. It is slightly worse than Booksmart, The Blues Brothers, The Muppet Movie, and Hell or High Water. So there you have it, boys.
Sounds about right.
Nope. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of 3 Guys in a Flick. If you would like to know which movie we're going to be reviewing next, please check out the website. Speaking of which, hey, John, where can they find us?
As always, they can find us at www.3guysinaflick.com, where you can find all of our podcasts. We put all of our show notes and anything else we feel putting up there. You also have a section that you can go ahead and submit a movie you would like us to review next. You can also find us at all of social media and anywhere that hosts podcasts. And while you're listening to us, be sure to give us a comment, a like, give us a rating. We'd love to hear from you. And just recently, we heard from Loke626, who left us a comment on our Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review with, "Love this movie. Took my oldest to watch when it was released and can't wait to show my little one who loves Spider-Man. Thank you guys for another great movie and another great episode. Roll credits." Well, thank you, Loke. We love hearing from our fans and we love hearing from our listeners. So your comment is terrific. I also want to throw a shout out there to Timmy, who's been a longtime listener of us. Thanks for all of your support.
All right. I just want to thank Nate M. for throwing Nope into the Bronco helmet. We had a lot of fun watching it and reviewing it. We hope you have a lot of fun listening to it. I also want to thank anyone else who listens and who has suggested a movie. If you keep listening, we'll keep recording. For 3 Guys in a Flick, I'm Don.
I'm John.
And I'm Ken. Thanks for listening.
Nope.
Three guys with some mics, yeah, dive into the flicks. We're here for the real talk, no time for the tricks. Starting as the captain, steering us right. Kid drops knowledge, shedding light. John with the comics, bringing the hype. From the good, the bad, to the absurd, we break it down, make sure you heard. Passion for the screen, we ride or die about movies. You know, we always give a fuck, no lie.
And that maybe we're going to get another one.
It'd just be the same movie.
Yeah, but maybe there's more than one, or maybe this one reacts differently, or maybe they domesticate this one.
Would that be Nopes? Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
So.
I, for one, hope he does not. And I think this is a great standalone.
Agreed.
So,
Well, I figured there at least has to be one movie where the jean jacket creature decides that it now is targeting that family because of blowing up the first one.
dude, knock it off. We are not, he is not going to pay homage to one of the greatest films ever made and then turn around and pay homage to one of the worst movies ever made as its sequel.
Could be in the Caribbean.
Oh, you fucking killing me, guy. Oh, I think that's the Professor Nurse. All right. What do you got?
Well, I have two.
I have one, maybe two.
Okay.
What do you got there, guy?
Nope.
You go with one of yours.
I'm going to go with, you want me to
Just do one.
just one for now?
Yeah.
Knob.
Knob? Okay. Mine was porn. Now you go again.
My other one I might have to explain a little bit. It's Nurk. And the reason why it's Nurk is because a friend of mine from high school, actually I've known him all my life, Nate, used to always refer to masturbation as nurking the boomer. So Nurk.
Huh. I think that could work, but at some point in the story we have to explain that.
Well,
So-
the creature only attacks when people are masturbating.
No, I get that, but the average listener isn't going to know what nurk means until we explain it to them.
But that also, you see that big hole.
Yes, I get the whole premise, my man. What I'm saying is we have to explain the word nurk.
Nurk and the boomer.
There you go. All right. And then my last one was simply boobs. Don't look at me like that. Don't judge me.
Be prepared to cut this one, but I also was thinking of
Whoa, buddy. Okay, don't ever say anything.
out loud.
All right, may all of your days and nights be filled with happiness. All right, fuck up. Good night.
Catch the vibe as three guys in a fight, keep the passion alive.